Welcome to the Pool Nation podcast, where it's all pool talk. And we ain't talking about netting and jetting or splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. We talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. Now let's welcome your host, with over a decade of industry insider experience and still the reigning champion of Marco Polo, Edgar De Jesus, and his co-host, John J.J. Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and Zach the Pool Boy Nicholas.
Welcome, everyone, to the Pool Nation Live podcast with myself, your host, Edgar De Jesus. And yes, I am the reigning champion of Marco Polo, along with John J.J. Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and the famous Zach, the Pool Boy Nicholas. Today, we're talking about the Pool Nation Awards and the nominations that open on July 15th. We're going to do a deep dive into that. I want to welcome everyone to our live podcast, the podcast where it's all pool talk, and we ain't talking about netting and jetting and splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. And yes, we will talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. But before we get started today, we want to thank all our sponsors for this podcast, the Ultimate Pool Tools, the SPPA, PoolInvoice.com, Blueray Excel, AquaStar Pool Products, and Pivot Pool Products. We want to thank them for their continued support. Zach, good evening. How you doing?
I'm doing really good, actually. It's a little past my bedtime. It's 9:48 here, but it's for a good cause because tonight we're covering the awards and I'm really excited about this. And last year was an awesome event and I'm excited to see what this year holds, and we'll get into a lot of that tonight.
John, good evening. How you doing?
Good evening. Yes, it's a little different this time. We're doing our evening podcast, and thankfully we're not being video recorded because we're saving all our viewers the painful sight of, Zach is talking about it's past his bedtime. And right now, if you guys could see Zach, he's wearing
that green mask thing,
a purple onesie. He's wearing that purple onesie, his pajamas with unicorns on it, which it's throwing me for a loop right now. So if I just bust out laughing in the middle of this podcast, so you guys understand why I'm doing it, just imagine Zach. He has his beard braided. He's wearing a purple onesie pajama with unicorns on it, sipping on mineral water. So I'm just kind of setting the scene there. And he has like a fireplace going in the background. It's pretty.
And that green moisturizer thing he's got going on his face is just throwing me for a loop.
It's pretty crazy right now. Yeah, dude. It's
crazy what goes on behind the scenes.
Right? And who knows? Never mind. I'm not even going to go there. But
man, what was that?
Right, we're going to keep this We're going to keep this PG. Look, even though it's an evening time, right? We're going to keep it PG for sure. I'm excited to do this podcast because we're going to get to talk about that wonderful experience we had last year at the international show, doing our inaugural Pool Nation Award, and this year we're doing number 2, right? And it's going to be bigger and badder than ever. And I look forward to kind of reminiscing and talking about some of the good things and, probably some of the not so fun things that we went through to make it happen. But this is going to be a definite good podcast.
Yes, absolutely. Super, super excited to talk about it. Let's jump in here and talk about a couple of things. Obviously, by the time this podcast is out on Monday, nominations are open. Freaking dogs going nuts and nobody doing anything about it. So, yeah, guys, so I'm super excited to get into this podcast and talk about the Pool Nation Awards. Let's jump in here and talk about a couple things. One is that we're actually going to be on vacation. So we are not going to have any Instagram lives for about 2 weeks, right, John?
Yeah, which is going to be kind of weird, right? We want to practice what we preach. We always talk about, hey, family time, and it's important. Why we work so hard is so that we have the opportunity to take that time off and spend that time with our families and do some pretty cool things. I'm uber jealous, but excited that you guys are heading out to Puerto Rico, which is badass and well-deserved. Everybody who's listening to this podcast knows Edgar. And just by talking to him and seeing him, you can see the type of work ethic he has. This dude is balls to the walls constantly, like nonstop, and it never ends. Right. And we are literally on the phone, or he's contacting all of us from like 6 o'clock my time until like midnight my time. I'm trying to figure out what the hell he's doing, where he has all this time doing this, but he's a workhorse, and you deserve this rest. So I think our people understand that we're not going to be there for 2 weeks doing the live, but I'm sure you're going to send us some pictures, and who knows, we might do something special during those 2 weeks. Who knows? Maybe we'll do something.
I was warned by my wife, John, that I was not allowed to send you guys a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, you should. I remember last time when I was in Cancun, you made me jump on the live. So maybe when you're in Puerto Rico, I'll kind of throw a live up, and while you guys are out there, maybe we'll do something.
Here's the thing is I'll jump on anytime, but my wife is like, you cannot sit there because I know we're going to be doing this. And you're like, I'm going to want to call the boys and show them what it is that I'm doing. And 5 minutes later, you're like, I want to call the boys again. And 5 minutes later, call the boys again. And she's like, and they're going to get pissed because you're out here on vacation on the beach doing this while they're working. So she's like, so you are not going to do that to them because that's not cool to them. So I'm like, wow. And my wife kind of lets me pull social media and stuff. But when she gives me a little bit of a warning, it's like, I better jump in and be ready. Anyways, I'm looking forward to it. You know, we haven't gone back to Puerto Rico since 2019 before the COVID. And everybody knows I was born and I was raised there. When we go out there, I take my kids to every corner of the island where all the locals go and all that. And going all of these years, guys, I haven't taken them to every spot in the island yet. So I like to take them out every year and kind of surprise them and throw a new curveball to it. So they all don't know that what I'm going to actually do is Puerto Rico has the second biggest zip lining in the world. And so they don't know yet that we're going to trek to the middle of the island. And here they are. They're all going to be, zip lining, through this really crazy part of the island. So just to let you know, some of them are freaked out about heights. So that's going to be actually pretty interesting. So maybe I'll record that, John. That ought to be kind of, Zach, that'll be interesting to see them freaked out.
That'd be badass. That would be badass. Yeah.
I got to say, going up to Dallas and hanging out, you're a very good host of, we're going to go over here and eat here. And then after this, we're going to go here. We're going to do that. And then it's all about the experience. I can't imagine what it would be like to actually go to Puerto Rico with you and get that same kind of run the circuit down there and go to all the hot spots. So hopefully someday John and I will get an invite and get the guided tour.
Right.
I'm going to confess. So John, let's confess here. So I'll tell what happened. I always finish my vacation in the part of the island, which I tell everybody it's my happy place. It's where I go, and the whole rest of the world, just like everything just disappears. And the reason why is because all the houses are actually on stilts inside the water. And then you can rent these little boats and you can literally park the boat at the house. And if you walk out of the kitchen, you literally fall into the water, like they're over. And so what happens is to the outside, it's very flat and you kind of have like these mangroves that kind of grow out there. And so what happens is everybody fills the little boats with coolers and food and beer and music, and everybody kind of goes and hops from these little mangroves to mangroves. And everybody just socializes with everybody. The water's crystal clear. The average temperature is 88 degrees for the water. So it's kind of nice and warm. So this year, I thought there was an opportunity that John was going to be able to go. So I rented a house in stilts in the water that can sleep 14 people. And there's only going to be 5 of us in this freaking house, Zach. But we thought it's towards the end of the year. It's, we come back August 6th. So I booked it for, I think, what was it, John? Like August 4th to August 4th, something like that, as late as we could. So that in case John has kind of at the stage where he was getting ready to move out here. But obviously with his in-laws not being able to move in until September 30th, it just kind of threw everything, upside down. So we weren't able to do that. By the way, John, that's why Leanne said you are forbidden of taking pictures and calling John while John's out there hustling his ass off working, and you're going to be rubbing it in. She's like, he's going to get pissed off. So you just need to know
No, I want to see pictures.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what we have
too.
to look forward to. Yeah, I want to know what we have to look forward to because better believe it, we're gonna go there again.
I tell you this, when we go, and at some stage we'll all three be able to go and take the families, but I'm going to take you guys to do some stuff that is only out of a movie. Oops, I dropped the F-bomb. But here's what we do, Zach. So last year was the first, not in 2019 was the first year that we did it. We took a plane to Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico is an island that's 100 miles by 35 wide, right? It's a tiny little island. And then we take a propeller plane to an island right next to it, which is part of Puerto Rico, and it's even smaller. So you have to take a propeller plane. As you're coming in, you're flying into the mountain. It seems like you're going to crash, and all of a sudden you make a turn and you hit onto the runway. And then you get there, we get an Airbnb there, but then that's not where we finish. We take a boat to an even smaller island off of that small island right there, where only the locals go. And it's literally, you'll have this private little beach on that little island. You could literally walk right across it, but the water is completely crystal clear. There's turtles in the water. There's these natural rock pools that form because of the ocean and all that kind of stuff. And so 2019, they'd never been. So I kind of put them all on that plane. And you should have seen their faces, John. They were freaked out when they're getting on this little propeller plane.
Oh, I'm sure. Janie would shit herself on that plane. There was one time we went to, I don't know where we went. I think we went to Florida. We were going to Disney World. And from Palm Springs to Arizona, I think, or to Ontario or LA, we walked out onto the runway, and it was a 2-engine propeller plane. And, you know, they had like the band, and they had to like pull the propeller to get it going, right? And it was like the first time she's ever been on an airplane. And she was like mortified. And every time we book a plane out of Palm Springs, she's always like, it's not a propeller plane, right? It's not a propeller plane. And we went through like the Banning Pass, which is like so windy, and it was so literally bad. Just like bam, bam, bam. Oh, it was just terrifying. So that plane would kill her. But I think, you know, the beautiful scenery and being able to look out, she'd kind of get over it, right? It's gorgeous. Yeah. I had a question though. Yeah. I never asked you this, but look, I'm Greek. I'm 100% Greek, and I've been to Greece before, especially when I was a lot younger. When you go back to your hometown or to Puerto Rico, even though you're Puerto Rican, like I'm Greek, 100%. I speak it fluently. I understand it, but they know you're not from Greece, right? And they treat you a little differently because you're an American Greek. How do they, in Puerto Rico, they say, hey, you know, the mainland, you know, do they treat you differently because you're from the mainland and not from, like, you don't live there anymore, or is it not like that?
So for me, it's a little bit different because I was born and raised there.
Yeah.
So I was there pretty much my entire life. I didn't leave till I was 18, 19 years old. So I
like
fully...
40 years ago? 45 years ago?
Right. So it's scary when you start to add up the numbers very quickly. It's like, holy crap, it's like 32. Oh, man, you know. So I go back there and I still have a lot of friends. And what freaks out my kids is I come from a very, very tiny town. And if you see the town that I came in, you would be like, you would look at me and you're like, that's your town? Literally, it's a one-way street up and then one-way street down on the other side. And then there's literally 4 blocks in between, and that's the whole town right there. So I come from a very small town where everybody knew everybody, and I show up into town and I'll spend a couple days, and as you walk through the little town, you'll see, you know, obviously now we're a lot older, but people will come up to my kids, and in Puerto Rico, everybody knows me as Tito. Nobody knows me as Edgar. So even my cousins have met other people, and they're like, oh, Edgar, and they're like, I don't know who you're talking about. And they're like, Edgar. And they're like, no. Oh, you're talking about Tito. Yeah. Okay. So everybody knows me as Tito there, but they'll be walking down the street and the people will come up and, oh, there's Tito's kids or whatever. My kids are like, what the hell? Like, you haven't lived here in forever, and we're walking through town and they know who the hell we are. But when I go back, it's where I grew up. It's where my heart grew. And so it's my place, man. That's where I was born, and you
don't skip a beat. Yeah, you're right back in.
Yeah. Here's the beautiful thing about being from a small island like that is it's so small that you're so passionate about the island because it's small and it has that smallness, and everybody's so friendly and everybody's so outgoing, and you kind of get the hospitality and a lot of the things that I do when you guys come out and taking you here and taking you there. That's like all the things that we did when we were kids and people would come over and visit and stuff like that. I don't get that. I don't get now, let's say that you were born in the U.S. and you go to Puerto Rico and you say, oh, I'm Puerto Rican, right? Because my parents are Puerto Rican. People would be like, oh, you're really not Puerto Rican because you're not from here. But luckily, I don't get that. But here's the thing is I could promise you this. The same hospitality that you guys got here, if we went to Puerto Rico, we would be literally nonstop from the moment that we land until the moment that we got in the plane, because we would be like, we're going here and we're going there and we're going here and we're going there. You guys would have an amazing time. So we'll have to do that at some point. Anyways, see, you guys start making me talk about Puerto Rico and I'll talk about it for freaking 17 minutes. Anyways, guys, let's get started with this podcast. And we're going to do a little bit different because we're going to talk about the Pool Nation Awards and we want to talk about the nomination process.
Yeah. And look, before we kind of get deeper into it, we need to take a moment and we really need to start by thanking HASA and Blueray XL. They really jumped in early and sponsored the event this year. Last year, they also sponsored our event. Without them, it would have made it much more difficult for us to make it happen. And this year they were the first to step up to the plate and say, hey, we want to be a part of this. We believe in what you're doing. We thought it was a wonderful event and we want to be a part of it. And they stepped up to the plate and they already sponsored us for the Pool Nation Awards. So we're excited to have them. And we just want to say thank you again for believing in us and believing in what we're trying to do here and supporting, the whole process and all the work that we're going to be putting into putting this together for you guys for our second annual Pool Nation Award. So big shout out to Blueray and HASA.
And it's important for us to say, John, especially both of them, right?
I mean, just think how much money it would cost us if they did it, right? Oh, it's a lot of money out of our pocket.
Can you imagine? I mean, and here's the thing,
last year,
guys.
We're like, holy shit, man.
I mean, it's thousands and thousands of dollars. That event that we put on last year was over $15,000.
Yeah. And we got deals.
Yep. That was us kind of wheeling and dealing and doing all that. And the international show ended up, covering a couple things for us and kind of hooking us up and the room and all that kind of stuff. So that was huge.
No, I mean, to be honest, we're probably tens of thousands of dollars into it, right? But we had a lot of people that sponsored us in ways where they comped us things and, they believed what they, and what we were doing. So yeah, it's not cheap. It really isn't. Right. And this year it's not going to be cheap either. This year.
Here's the challenge. That's what I was saying is all three of us get together and every time we're like, okay, we want to do this. And it's like, yeah, but if we're going to do this, we got to do this, and that. And it's like, it always goes so quickly. It elevates and escalates completely out of control. So think about this year because we have some surprises. I do want to say, especially both of these sponsors, John, Zach, HASA from day one, they have believed in us. They haven't asked for us to peddle their products. They haven't asked for us to do any of that. They really believe in what we're trying to do with becoming a nation of pool pros. And so has Chris. And Chris has been freaking amazing. He's got our back and he just completely jumped in right away. And I want to sponsor the awards and I want to help you guys. So I really want to thank them because they're not just sponsoring, but they, like you said, John, they believe in what it is that we're trying to do. And that's what's important to me.
Oh, no, absolutely. Not even once ever have they ever said, oh, can you guys talk about this or do that or talk about this situation? Or never once. And I think it's because they understand and they know that's not how we operate and that's not what we're here to do. But more importantly, it's because they're doing it selflessly, right? They're doing it because they truly believe in the industry and they want to help out the industry. And they know that through education, through, sharing the knowledge and being there and supporting each other and building this nation of pool pros, what we're trying to do is very important. And in the long run, they see the big picture and they know that it not only will benefit them, but it benefits everybody across the board in the industry because we all become better and we all become more profitable, right? And we all do better, and we're looked upon as more of a better and bigger industry. So kudos to them. Same thing with Blueray. They haven't done it. The same thing too. And they have been amazing.
They've been amazing. Chris has been, and his partner have just been amazing.
Another big thing that we want to talk about is making sure that everyone gets out there and nominates. And we're not just talking about nominating people. There's products, there's different things, there's different categories. So make sure that you take the time and look at every category and make a nomination, because all these different categories, where most of the different categories everyone's familiar with, they've had experience with a lot of these different products. So make sure you get in there and put your word in and nominate in multiple categories, not just one.
That's a great point, Zach, because I think a lot of people will think, oh, let me just kind of go and nominate the people, right? Because they know the people and stuff like that. But it'll be important for them to nominate different products, because there are a lot of products, guys, that are not just the big three. There's a lot of other products, whether it's variable speed pumps or there's a lot of other companies, out there. So the big thing is that the nominations will close August 15th. And so what will happen is the voting will start September 15th to October 15th. And that might be a little subject to change based on how we can kind of work out with the awards, with getting the trophies done. But that'll give us also some time for us to do something a little bit different this year. And that is that we will be able to have some podcasts with some of the people that are nominated, so that everybody gets to hear about the people and not just read something, but actually be able to watch a podcast or listen to a podcast and, learn about the people that have been nominated. So I'm super excited about that, because we can kind of do things a little bit different than what we did last year. Just really quick, I wanted to mention again, get out there and vote. Number 2, let's talk about the categories that are out there so everybody remembers what they are. So I'm going to start with variable speed pump of the year, best residential filter of the year.
And then we have favorite net, favorite test kit, best truck wrap. That was a contentious one last year, wasn't it? That was builder of the year, distributor of the year, sales rep of the year, favorite pool vac system, heater of the year, and lifetime achievement.
And then we have the 2 rookie of the year for the 30 under 40 with Pool Pro. We have Pool Guy of the Year, Pool Girl of the Year, Pool Company of the Year, 250 pools or less, Hardscape Landscape Designer of the Year, Suction Pool Cleaner of the Year, Heat Pump of the Year, and then we have the John, Zach, and Edgar Award.
Which I still don't know what the hell that is, but...
Do I get to pick this year who gets that award?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah? Yeah. Zach, you give me green card?
You're perfect. You got it.
So I can pick this Zach, John, and Edgar award, right?
Well, I don't know now. The way you're approaching this...
I need confirmation.
The way you're approaching this right now is making me hesitate. So maybe we're going to have to table this conversation and get back offline, or talk about this offline and figure out what the hell this award is.
He's up to something.
I'm gonna pull up the Snoop Dogg. How was it, John? I want to thank me. I want for being me. For
there you go.
That is like perfect. It is perfect. I want to thank me for
not quitting, for being me, for being a hustler.
This year, for those of you that weren't happy with some of the results last year, you got to get involved. You got to put in your nomination and your vote. And remember, if you don't nominate someone, they're not entered. So if they're not nominated, they're not entered in. And then once all of that's done, we'll have a live nomination event in Dallas on August 24th in Studio A. And we're going to live stream the nominations on that Wednesday. So you're going to want to tune in. And then tickets are limited to that event. So keep listening. We'll talk about that as we get closer to the date.
Yeah, and a couple of things that we want to talk about, especially with this year, and obviously us expecting a lot more people to do the nominations. And that is that, once people get nominated in this first round, what will happen is those people will get vetted through the process. And those that make it through that vetted process will then be those finalists for the nominees that are going to be voting. And so there's a couple of things that we did on the website a little bit different this year. So as you go to vote, you can kind of read some of the requirements for each one of those nominations that are going to, be happening. So check that out on the website. You can kind of go through that, and we will talk about that a little bit later as we pass that process of the vetting process. John, let me start with you, and let's do a little going back into time, because this kind of gets me excited for these year's awards. Is what was your favorite part of the awards last year?
That's a tough one, man. Full disclosure, 100%. We were so focused to make sure everything went well, especially the fear of the unknown, right, is like the worst fear. When it's something that you've never done before, it's a little nerve-wracking. I'm not saying I'm a control freak, but I like to know what the hell's going on. And I like to see and predict what's kind of happening. And I'm not one for surprises. I'm very methodical. I have a good grasp of what's going to happen next, or good assumption of, based on past experiences, just how things are going to roll, how things are going to go. But I've never been a part of or hosted or created an award ceremony, right? And I've never done shit like that before. So I wasn't able to enjoy it as much as I think I could have enjoyed it, just because I was just too worried to make sure all of us did what we needed to do, because we took it so seriously. And it wasn't a game. It wasn't, it wasn't just something we threw together. We put a lot of time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears into making it happen. And I think it was just tunnel vision that I didn't really get to enjoy much of it, other than seeing it unfold and actually turn out the way we expected it to turn out, right? And it actually was a success. I guess that was my favorite part, that it actually worked out really well. It was a success. Everybody enjoyed the show that we put on for them. More importantly, everybody's excited for this year, right? So I know that really wasn't the one specific thing, but you know what I'm saying, right? I mean, you had to have felt the same thing. We were not focusing on anything other than we got to get this right, other than watching Zach practically shit himself on the stage. Because this guy, and you got to give him kudos. You guys don't know this. I mean, Zach, it's not his thing, but he knocked it out of the park, man. And he was like on fire and did great. Like, he's been giving presentations and hosting the Oscars, for years or something. And I was like, dude, he didn't show, but behind the scenes, between us boys and girls, he was stressing out. And I think that was a little funny for me. I enjoyed that.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. If you could have seen the internal struggle going on through that whole, leading up to it and everything, definitely not my strong point.
But tell me this, Zach. So, and I think we've all grown over the last year and a half, right? We've all gotten ourselves out of our comfort zones a lot of times, that we've forced ourselves to be there, right? And even me personally, I'm doing stuff now that people look at me and they're like, wow, like, how do you do that? And I'm like, you just have to get out of your comfort zone, and you just got to go for it, right? And the first time you might screw it up, but the next couple times that you do it, you do better. But tell me that you being in that situation hasn't made you grow.
Oh, 100%. That's life-changing type stuff right there. And that was my main motivation behind it, was like, I have to do this. A lot of it, was for me. A lot of it was for, Pool Nation and getting our message out there and doing all that. But it was definitely game changing for me. And, being with you guys, I think about it all the time. It's like, if we were in grade school or junior high or whatever, like, I know exactly the two friends that you guys would be, and I would be the one being drug along into whatever trouble we're getting into. And now this year, it's like, you're already talking about like all these new things. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be another life-changing, game-changing year for Zach as we get through the awards.
And I'll have to tell you this. So now that you're talking about the friendship and the dragging one along, so obviously everybody knows I'm 50 now, right? I hit the milestone. And so you kind of grow through life. You have like you're saying, your high school buddies that you got their back no matter what, right? It didn't matter in high school whose fault it was, who did what. But if somebody was coming after your boys, there was a loyalty there that you didn't ask questions. Even if your buddies were wrong,
right.
You didn't ask questions, right? Those are my boys. That's it. Ride or die.
Ride or die.
And so, I kind of went through life where, I was at that stage. Then you kind of get to the stage where you get married, you have kids, life changes, your focus is in a different place. Life is a journey, right? It takes you to all these different places. And, I end up moving back. So I moved from California. I moved to Texas. I'm in a totally different spot. My daughter has an accident. That's life changing. And then all of a sudden we start doing these Instagram lives and I kind of meet both of you. And, I tell Leanne and I tell my kids because they're sitting and they're like, Dad, you're like a freaking high schooler with them. Like the shit that you do and say, like, why would you do that, Dad? And I'm like, because you guys don't understand. At 50 years old, it's almost like I've reunited with those high school buddies and it's that ride or die. And we do shit that normal people don't understand. But between the three of it, like we get each other and we understand. Yeah. And so whether it's a joke that we just think that it's the most hilarious thing. And my kids are like, you're an idiot, Dad. Like you are such a fool. Right. But people don't understand. And that's where I've gotten at my stage now in my 50s again, that it's like, you guys are like, my high school buddies. And it's like that ride or die, it's freaking awesome.
Feel the same way. I'm thinking of while we're up at stage and you guys threw me to the wolves and told me
we did.
This is the truth.
We did.
I thought we're all up there and we're all going to be doing our thing and we're going to be talking and we're taking turns. And it literally right at start time, they go, John, you are up on the stage.
You're the MC.
And you are talking and doing everything and we're going to be on the side. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, are you kidding me? And I'm not a nervous. I mean, I've spoken in front of many people and I don't have a problem talking in front of people. It's different, right? In that environment, it's completely different. And
you're out of your element.
You are. And I got to the point and it's not like, I mean, we're talking about things that I'm passionate about, which luckily we were doing and it was easier to talk about. And, we had it planned and we were doing this and that. But I was sitting there and then at that moment, when you guys told me that, you can see the look in my eyes was different, right? I was a little different and I was taken aback a little bit just to try to, okay, all right, it's game time, Johnny boy. You're doing this, we're going to make it happen. And Zach, I remember Zach looked at me and Edgar said something and you said something to me. It was like, John, you look a little nervous. Are you all right? And I go, yeah, you know what I mean? I go, yeah, I'm okay. I'm a little thrown back, but I got this right. I remember the look in Zach's eye and he's like, he looks at me and he's like, don't do this to me, John. He's all, you're my rock. If you lose it, I'm not going to be able to make it. The only reason why I'm keeping it together is because you're keeping it together and I'm falling, right? You're my rock, bro.
For real.
If you start to crumble, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. And I go, holy shit. And I go, okay. And I go, all right, game time, right? And I mean, wipe it off. And I'm like, all right, here we go. Jump on the stage and I'm going to do this. But it was quite the event.
The proof is, look at all of the media. Me and Edgar aren't in any of it.
All the awards, it's just my dumbass up there, dude, the whole time.
Like we weren't even there.
I'm looking at these guys and I'm like, you pricks, dude.
I'll tell you, did you notice what I was doing the whole event? I was trying to soak it in, so I didn't get a chance to eat. I was literally kind of going table by table, kind of trying to mingle a little bit with everybody at the show because John, just had this. I do have to ask, though, Zach, because you didn't tell me that I was your rock. You just said that John was your rock. Like, what the hell's up with that?
I don't know. John, he's got it. He's Scare Bear, right? Like, I'm fearless when I'm around him.
He put me on the spot right there.
He threw you.
And I was like, all right, I got to do this.
I got to do this for my boy.
Time to man up, Johnny boy. Yep, I got to do this.
And he did.
And he did.
Yeah.
Of course, he probably doesn't like that, John, because when the awards were going to begin, I told him, you'll just be behind the laptop pressing the buttons. And then as we progressed, I said, well, maybe you'll say a line or two. And then next thing you know, I'm like, yeah, you're not doing any of that. You're on stage.
Yeah, that escalated from like the very initial like napkin concept of it.
But you know what? You did amazing. You looked amazing. You were sharp, bro. You were super sharp in that light blue suit with the yellow tie. You all spiffed out and you were ready to go and you just killed it.
Oh, thank you.
I do have to agree with you though, John, because I'm thinking about it now and everything was so go time that during the event, I had a great time. Had a great time. But it wasn't like I was able to sit there and soak it in. You're kind of in that go mode. So I think I'm going to try that a little bit different this year and kind of try to soak it in. So Zach, what was your favorite part?
For me, I know y'all understand what I'm about to say, but it was seeing everyone like come together, all ego aside. There was no hierarchy of, this person's up here and I'm down here. They do this much work and I do that. We were all on one level field, right? Everyone was just there to have a good time, show their support for the industry, show their support for us and what we're trying to do and believe in us. And to me, that was just different. It was cool. It was like, I don't know how to explain it. It was a little unreal, honestly. So for me, that was my favorite part of it. And then also the getting dressed up. Sounds corny, but it was fun. Like even going through and going to pick out my suit and get sized up and go pick it up and then, get dressed. It was just fun to kind of get out of the element and do something different. Everyone looked great. I really enjoyed that.
I agree. I think it's a great thing. We celebrated the Pool Pro. It was a great event. A lot of people coming together. Like you said, everybody was at the same level and everybody was just having a great time. I am not going to lie. I'm super excited for this year's already again. Like, I know this is going to sound crazy, but it's almost like I want them to come sooner, right? Like, I'm ready. I'm in full mode now, by the way. It's like July 1st. I'm in full mode, just kind of working on all the things that we need to get to the event. And just the fact that this year we could go a lot bigger and be able to repeat it and just do it better has me super excited. So anyways, guys, let's do this. Let's take a quick word from our sponsors. When we come back, we'll continue our podcast.
The SPPA is dedicated to the niche general liability insurance needs of pool and spa professionals. As industry leaders, we'll fight for you, protect you, and be there for you. We provide extraordinary service before and after the membership and insurance is in effect. Insured members of the program get the best customer support and have peace of mind that their alliance is their voice and always fighting for their program and insurance needs. We proudly insure thousands of pool and spa professionals across the United States. With over 30 years encompassing the pool and spa industry, we know the needs of pool and spa professionals. Through the SPPA program, there are 3 tailored and customized general liability insurance options to pick from. For more information on our programs and insurance options, visit our site at www.thesppa.com. The sound of you continually pitching pool care poles into the trash. The sound of you using an Ultimate Pool Tools carbon fiber pool care pole for years to come. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at ultimatepooltools. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add reoccurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. Blueray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blueray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blueray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BlueRayXL.com.
Blueray all day.
AquaStar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available in 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed, open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable. And these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with the pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double-locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleaners faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today.
Welcome back, everybody. We're talking to Zach. We're talking to John. We are talking about the Pool Nation Awards. Nominations are open. Get out there and vote. Like Zach was saying, it's not just about the people. It's also about the products. So get out there. Don't nominate just one product or one thing. Do multiple and make sure that you get your nominations in. They will be open until August 15th. So, guys, as we get closer into this year's awards, what are you looking forward to? One specific thing? So if you had to pick one thing, John, what would be the one thing that you're looking forward to this year?
When I think of the awards, I also think of the show, right? An international show that's hosting it for us. It's all in one. We're teaming up with them and we're doing it. And it's that whole experience thing. And I think what I love the most, if I were to pinpoint it, was putting names or putting faces to names and actually meeting the people that we interact with on a day-to-day basis, online, through Instagram, through whatever media there is. Those that are shooting the shit, asking questions, and you're talking, chopping it up, talking shop. People that are on there constantly listening to our lives and contributing. People that are submitting questions. The folks that are in our peer-to-peer group and business coaching. People I don't even know that, and a majority of them that come up and call your name, and I don't know who they are, but I'm excited to meet them, right? And find out who they are and what they do in the pool industry and how we can help each other. So that was really fun. And I'm really looking forward to doing that again. Just getting to meet and celebrating the pool service professional, right? We've said it from the beginning. And one of the main reasons why we're doing what we're doing, everything that we're doing, is because we believe, we know that the pool pro is the heart and soul of this industry. And they are the unsung heroes in our eyes. And without them, this mechanism, this machine would come to a halt. Because and I believe that they don't get the credit that they deserve. And they haven't been getting the credit that they deserve over the years. And we want to change that. And I think we are slowly but surely seeing that change, not just from us, but just from everybody that's contributing and all the podcasts and all the, everybody that's just doing and saying, hey, look, oh yeah, we're seeing this is what we need to do. And that really excites me. And I'm looking forward to meeting everybody and just chopping it up and shooting the shit with them. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
And it's funny that you say that, John, because I was talking to Colin from Blue Desert out in Arizona yesterday, just on Instagram. We were chatting. And one of the things that he was talking about is, that he's doing really well. But one of the things that he was doing is that he was mentoring about 3 other people that are in the industry. And, he was saying, I'm really busy, but I'm out there. I'm trying to mentor. I'm trying to work with these people. And I said, kudos to you because you're running your business and then you're taking the time to mentor these people. And you don't get paid for that, right? And even us, what we do, we don't make any money, right? But we know what we want to do. We know that we want to better the industry. And he was talking about that. He said, I want to change the industry. And I know that that's something that I have to do to help them so that they can change the industry. And that's when it kind of clicked a little bit that, like what you're saying, we're starting to see and at least hear all these other people that are paying it forward. And they're trying to do that as well. And you slowly start to see the change. And it's like you said, it's not just us, right? We're not going to sit here and take that credit, but but you're starting to see that around a little bit more, and that's super exciting. Zach, what about you for this year? What are you looking forward to?
Well, I have to agree with John. Like, it was really fun meeting people and just talking and, like you said, putting names with faces and whatnot. And I even at the booth at the show, I mean, I was having fun just talking to random people and getting to know them and learn what it's like in their market or what they've got going on. But one thing that I'm in particular excited about is seeing how many more people get involved this year. You know, we talk about it several times, you know, get in there, get involved, nominate, vote, do all of that. You know, and last year was the first year, and I'm sure there are a lot of people that maybe didn't think it was as serious of a thing as it was, didn't take it that seriously. And maybe after the fact, looking back, we're like, oh, okay, wait, I should have got involved. So it'd be really interesting to me to see what this year, the second year, what kind of involvement, what kind of engagement we get compared to last year.
Yeah, that'll be definitely exciting. Guys, I'm talking to a lot of people that were at the ones last year that are saying that they're going to be going back this year. I just talked today to Manning's Pool Service. You guys remember them last year? And they came up. This year, there's like 5 or 6 of them coming up. They called me today and they're like, we made all the reservations this week. We're all set. We're all settled. We're going to be at the Pool Nation Awards. And I'm like, how cool is that? That, you know, the first year was just...
Yeah, they hit me up on Instagram too, saying that they booked.
Did they?
Yeah.
Because last time it was just 2, and this time Anna's going, and the guys that went last year, and they're bringing, I think, 2 more people. So I think it was a total of 5 that were coming up, and I got so excited. I'm like,
nice,
yes. And then I spoke to, remember Danielle last year that won the 30 under 40?
Awesome.
She sent me a message, and she was asking, hey, what are the awards? And I said, hey, you won one of the awards this year. Are you going up there? She's like, you bet I'm going to be there. She goes, we're already booked and we're all ready to go. And me and my husband are going to be there. And so it's, you know, it's super exciting. Jeanette was already looking for reservation.
That's beautiful.
So I'm super excited that, you know, we're getting a lot of, and to me, that's what I want. I want to go get together with all those people again. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to all the people that were there last year, and for us to kind of like come and like see each other again, plus all this new bunch of people that are going to be coming in. It's just going to be one really big, cool, you know, hangout. So I'm super excited about that.
Yeah. Like going to dinner and walking around and just getting together like outside. I mean, how much fun was that, you know?
No, it was awesome.
It was awesome. It was a big, huge hangout.
It was badass.
It was.
It is. And this year is going to be just off the hook. It's already starting to blow up. And like I said, if those that got to attend last year, this year is going to be something else. Yeah, I can't wait. I really can't wait. It's going to be pretty badass. It's a thing, right, guys? This is every year. This is going to happen.
Oh, yeah. This is every year.
So every year, you know, one thing we haven't really talked about, and I know we'll talk about it more when we get closer to it, but look, this is dress to impress. This is like black tie, right?
Mm-hmm. Cocktail dress, a gala event. This is all out.
Yeah, this is it. We're not messing around. People will get turned around and not be able to attend if they're not dressed accordingly. This is the Oscars of the pool industry. It's fun. It really is. And what Zach said, you know, just suit up, looking good, clean, you know, ready to rock and roll because, you know, we deserve it. After another successful year in the pool industry, hopefully everybody is thriving and doing well. It's time to sit back and celebrate all the wins and that we've had as an industry and to celebrate the products and people that were a part of it that helped us get there. So it's going to be fun.
Awesome. So what is something that you guys want to do this year that we didn't do last year?
Mine's real easy. I want to be able to eat. I want to be able to eat. We had this badass meal, dinner, and I like to eat. You know that. And I'm up there on stage and I'm like, really? And I think maybe that's one of the things that pissed me off the most was that I had to MC or host the whole thing was that I knew that I wouldn't be able to go down there and grab a bite to eat. So this year I'm going to make sure that I get to participate or partake in dinner.
I'm telling you this, you better eat beforehand. I'll tell you that.
Right.
Because let me tell you what's going to happen, John. This is what's going to happen. And it happened to us last year. we got there and there was so many things that were going on that we were making sure that were going to happen. I even had a speech planned out for us before we got on stage and all that. And just everything going on, I like remembered after the awards was over. You're going to get there. And as soon as you get there, people are going to start coming up to you. Hey, John, and this, and you're going to want to go see this person and you're going to want to go see that person. And then next thing you know, it's time for you to get up on the stage. And next thing you know, you're going to be in the same spot where you're going to be like, damn it. Because let me tell you what happened to me. When I got down, I ran down, I made myself a taco. I took one bite. And as I took one bite, Zach was yelling at me from the other, Edgar, Edgar, Edgar. And I threw the tacos in the trash and that was it. That's all I got. I got one bite out of the taco.
It was a good bite though, wasn't it? Because we didn't get a bite.
It was an amazing bite. It was good.
Nothing.
Dude, I'm telling you, the food was legit. So that was some good stuff.
Yeah, maybe we should hire a coordinator to help us on the day of to kind of handle that kind of stuff. That might be a good idea.
Yeah, we're definitely going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have our team from the peer-to-peer have been awesome and they've all been stepping in. Benny's coming out to help with the videography and stuff like that. Kelly's been volunteering to help with a lot of the other things. And they've messaged me. So they kind of want to be part of it. So this year we're going to definitely have, some people. Last year we put, and God bless her heart, Janie took over the table up front and I knew I needed a tough cookie up front and man, she freaking handled it. She went up to that. There was nobody.
Dude, she don't mess around, dude.
Yeah.
She wouldn't let people in. She's all,
and she was calling me.
She's all dressed up.
Yep.
Beautiful red dress, high heels, right? Throwing up the hand saying,
So, and that's what we need at the door. We need somebody that's a tough cookie, but I don't want to put her on that same spot. I want her to be able to enjoy it a little bit more. So this year we'll find somebody to kind of handle that. I don't know. Maybe we'll hire security or we'll handle something like that so everybody can enjoy it. That could be something that we do. So, what about you, Zach?
So literally following John, like I had put down that, I would like to try the food. So looking forward to that.
Really?
Yeah.
You put that down?
Yeah, that's what I put down is to try the food. Because it looked like really good food and we didn't get to eat it. So I was just going to say, this question for real, though, it was hard for me to think of anything, that we should do because last year for me went way above and beyond what I had expected because like John, I've never been like a part of an awards ceremony or creating that or anything like that. And so I honestly didn't really know what to expect. I knew Edgar was pushing and he was going to do it. And it's crazy too, because what you accomplished by yourself with a lot of this, like a lot of people helped and a lot of people contributed, but there was a lot of this that you tackled on your own. And it was super impressive. And it would take a team of people normally to do all of that. So I would be just happy to do that again this year.
Yeah, it'll be super fun. It's funny because Leanne came to me and she goes, sweetie, and she saw me the other day getting into the award stuff. And I was kind of already planning out. And I start walking into the media room and I'm starting to plan out all the stuff and visually. And I took a lot of notes last year so that I would be able to kind of pull those notes. So I'm kind of pulling the notes and going, oh, crap, I forgot to do this. And so I have, the big computer screen and I got, all the awards and all the steps and all this kind of stuff. And so she comes upstairs and she sees me and she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, check this out. I got this planned out and this is what we have here. And here's our to-do list. And here's, the awards date that we need to get this and kind of going through it and stuff like that. And she kind of taps me on the back like that. And she goes, remember last year how much time you spent working on these awards? How much we didn't see you because you were so engrossed in this thing? She taps me on the back and she goes, it's July. Good luck. We'll see you at vacation time.
For real.
For real.
So I'm like, let's go. Let's get it. So question, who's going to MC this year?
Zach.
So I'm like, everything inside of me is like, I need to do this for John because he did it last year and it's only fair. But then there's a whole other side of me that's like, don't start rooting and chanting right now or celebrating whatever you're doing because it's not happening.
You guys are going to make me do it again.
It's between you and John. There is no way I could do it.
John, did he just not set us up for failure? I thought he was saying, I got to do this and I got to do this for John. And you know what? I'm going to do it. And then he's just like, it's not going to happen.
Nope, I'm tucking tail and I'm turning and I'm walking off right now.
Yeah.
I got a good feeling I'm going to be the one up there.
Dude, you killed it though. You really
whatever,
you
bro.
really did.
I need you to talk me up.
You're my
Keep
rock,
that shit to
dude.
yourself.
He suckered you. He suckered you with the "I'm your rock." I wonder where he read that, and then he's like,
Right?
he got
like,
it out of the playbook,
okay.
and he's like, "John, you're my rock.
Yeah,
you're my,
right.
you're my everything."
Yeah.
And you're like, I got to do this for Zach, and he's sitting over there laughing in the corner. So I'll tell you this: I think it's going to be Zach this year that's gonna host this. I think he'll step up to the plate.
Good luck. You're gonna be sad. I'm sorry.
What do you think, John? Do we throw him out there?
Let's wait until the day of to tell him that he's doing it.
So here's the thing, Zach. I know that you freak out about some of these things, but then when you're handed the baton, your fear turns into courage, and that energy just, takes you to the next level.
Not always, though. And I think I told you.
Not always.
We came back from the awards. I'm like, just did something. I stepped out of my comfort zone. I accomplished this. This is great. And so we had joined our local chamber, and they're like, we want you to come down and do a welcome video. And it's just real quick, and we're going to interview you. It's like a minute long. And I bombed it. It was supposed to be live, and for whatever reason, they couldn't live stream that day. And I had to do like 15 takes, and they were just looking at me like, this guy. So sometimes it works, others not so much.
But I think because it's the Pool Nation Awards, he'll make it work, right, John?
Yeah, he will. We'll figure it out. I think this year we should have a mixture a little bit. If you guys want me to.
Between you two? Yeah, I think so. I think you two would do great.
Sure, yeah, go for it.
Between you two,
Great
go
idea.
ahead.
Dude, we'll have to rehearse or something at a minimum.
Right. We'll figure it out.
Do you guys want me to write the script for the jokes and stuff?
No. No.
That would be awesome if you guys let me do that. Regardless, I think it'll be great. Now, you're going to do great, Zach. You're going to do great. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, I have full faith in you, Zach.
Thank you for your confidence.
But this year we'll be live streaming the Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, everything. We're going to be, John, for your kids that play video games a lot and mine, they can watch us on Twitch that night.
Yeah, well, I mean, the local news station in Vegas is going to be putting it on.
Yeah.
I can't remember what channel or something. I can't remember what it was called, but they were going to be there. So that's pretty awesome.
I'm trying to work out with one of the hotels on the strip. So on their billboard, they'll actually play them. So people that are walking through the strip,
They'll be passing out those cards on the strip. Pool Nation Award. Click, click, click. You know what I'm talking about, right? Giving the cards out. Pool Nation Award.
They'll be walking down the strip, and it'll be up on one of those big, huge billboards at the Caesars, the Pool Nation Awards, and we'll be live on
With
the billboard.
Zach's face on there, with your host, Zach Nicholas. Imagine if we could pull that off.
Oh my God, I'm crying.
Shit off. That would be awesome, dude. Hey, it might be worth looking into. Well, I'm sure Vegas is pretty friggin' expensive to put a billboard, but they have like hundreds and hundreds of billboards on that freeway, coming down. To maybe get one, that'd be pretty fun, dude. If you think about it, and have one there for everybody driving in from California-ish, and maybe we'll look into that, see how much one of those billboards cost.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
So I think the only one that we can afford is the one that's in the alleyway of the 7-Eleven. Did you see our billboard? Where we take them to the corner of the 7-Eleven and walk up to the
it's
alleyway.
Hanging in the bathroom of 7-Eleven, above the stall.
Oh man, I am going to apologize to all of our listeners that's just listening to us. Have it. What is it? 11 o'clock at night, and we're sitting here having a great old time. On a serious note, as I dry my tears, I have to thank both of you as I dry my tears here. We're definitely going to step it up. We're going to be able to accommodate more people, and we have a couple of surprises for everybody out there. So we'll talk about some of those as we get closer. The other thing that we need to talk about is that this year, guys, we have the Bob Lowry Lifetime Achievement Award. And last year, on the night of the awards, unfortunately, we lost Bob. And it was really crazy because as the awards were finishing, passed away after the awards. We had just finished having dinner. I was walking back with John and Janie. I'll never forget it. And then I get a message from Bob's wife that he had passed away. So it was literally after the awards that night that he passed away. And so we had several people that reached out and commented, and Terry had sent something, and a couple people online, forgive me, I don't remember the names, but a couple of you guys reached out and said, you should really call it the Bob Lowry Lifetime Achievement Award. We thought it was a great idea, but obviously we needed to get permission. We can't just kind of use Bob's name. So we reached out to Sylvia, and she's been an absolute sweetheart, and she agreed, and she gave us permission to now call it, instead of the Pool Nation Lifetime Achievement Award, it's the Bob Lowry Lifetime Achievement Awards. So what do you guys think about that?
Dude, I think it is awesome, right? And at the same time, I think it's sad. What I mean by sad is that for those that had the privilege or the honor to know Bob, and for those of you that were at the show and watched and listened to the video that he had made as he was accepting the award, is something that he said, and we knew this prior. We constantly spoke with Bob, and he said something that really struck a nerve. It upset me, was that just think of all the amazing things and everything Bob has done to contribute to the pool industry in these decades, right, that he was a part of it. He said that he has never, ever, ever received any recognition or award for the work that he's done for us over the years. And this was the first one. It was shocking, and, it validated the things that we're trying to do and accomplish, right? Because we want to lift up those that have made positive contribution to the industry. And we want to honor the legends, right, that we've had, because there's so many great people and teachers that have come and gone over the years that unless you know them or you've known them, there's nobody really talks about them. And the new people that come into the industry don't know the history, right, and where things came from and who they were. So having this Lifetime Achievement Award and having Bob's name behind it, I think is just badass, right? And I'm looking forward to, this is the best award for me, because there are so many great people out there that are currently in the industry, that aren't in the industry anymore, that have contributed so much to what we're trying to do here, that need to be recognized. That's what this award does. And I think it's the most important award that we get to present every year. So I'm so stoked, and I can't wait to see who wins the next one. Yeah.
And I think it's absolutely perfect. And I started to get to know Bob through him working with us and doing podcasts and things like that. And I didn't even have a real understanding of how much Bob has contributed to our industry. And the sad thing for me is that it wasn't until after his passing that there was a podcast episode, the 2-part series that came out kind of chronicling his life and his things. And it's like, even outside of the pool industry, Bob has done so much, like actually pretty crazy life, lots of different things. So I think that deserves this. I think it's perfect. I don't think there's anyone better to recognize in this way. And I agree with John. This is the most important award.
Yeah, I'm super, super, super excited about it. And it'll definitely be a special award for the night for everybody, especially for that first award that we give out, the first Bob Lowry Lifetime Achievement Award. So it's going to be awesome. So I'm super excited about it. All right, guys, let's do this. Let's take our final words from our sponsors. When we come back, we will continue.
The Hyper Pole from Ultimate Pool Tools is a pool care pole designed by pool professionals for pool professionals, featuring precision-crafted carbon fiber and stainless steel construction. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at Ultimate Pool Tools. Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add recurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. Blueray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blueray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blueray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BlueRayXL.com.
Blueray all day.
AquaStar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available in 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed, open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable. And these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with the pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double-locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleaners faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today.
Welcome back, everybody. We are talking to Zach. We're talking to John. We're talking about the Pool Nation Awards that are going to be on November 16th at the International Pool and Spa Show in Las Vegas. We're super excited about it. And normally what we do is we normally come back and we do our final thoughts. And all 3 of us decided that we needed to have one final thought for this podcast for tonight, because we want to deliver the message. John, you want to give that final thought?
Don't miss it. Right? Get out and vote, nominate. The power of this is we're tapping into every one of you out there, right? Because we know there are some unsung heroes out there that might not be social media savvy or, who in the social media scene that is doing great work, that of them. Please, get out there and nominate them and put their name out there so they can be recognized for the hard work that they've put in throughout the years or throughout the year and what they've done to contribute to the industry. So, and as far as the awards, guys, this is the place to be. No bullshit, no BS. When those tickets go live, I highly suggest you secure one because they will not last long. We had a full room. We could have had a lot more people, but we didn't know we were going to get that big of a turnout. This year we have a much bigger auditorium, but we know we're still going to sell out. So if you want to be a part of it, make sure you guys do your due diligence, contribute by voting and by nominating, and make sure you get your tickets. Looking forward to seeing you guys there. It's going to be a blast. Trust me, it'll be fun.
All right, guys, look at this. We normally do the podcast in the morning. We're doing one at night. Zach said he wanted to go to bed at 10:15. It's 11 o'clock at night, and he can barely stay awake, John. Look at him. He's struggling.
My body is like shutting down forcefully.
We're going to wake up with the flippy off emoji in the morning from Zach because he's going to be crabby because he didn't get enough sleep last night.
I call him and he swipes and hangs up on me, swipes and hangs up on me all day. He won't take my calls.
Right? Voicemail. Send the voicemail. Send the voicemail.
No, I'm just going to call you at like 4:30 in the morning.
Do it. Definitely do it. I keep my phone muted and off, so don't worry about it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Thanks so much for listening to us here just to have a great time. That's what we did tonight. We will catch everybody on Wednesday on the Instagram Live. Get out there and vote, people. Have a great one, guys. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Pool Nation podcast, a member of the Pool Nation family. You can listen to us live every Friday here at 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, and 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. You can find us at Pool Nation or PoolNationPodcast.com, on Facebook, or on Instagram at Pool.Nation. And to find more info about Pool Invoice, the billing software built specifically for the pool industry, go to PoolInvoice.com. Before you go, this is what the pool industry has been waiting for. PoolmanUniversity.com. It's the first platform dedicated to learning the swimming pool service and repair industry. A pool service community where you can connect and find videos on business, service, water chemistry, and repairs. See you there at PoolmanUniversity.com.